Welcome, babies, to the Fruity Pebbles Castle of Torment, a scary castle with 100 rats. What? I thought you were going to get coffee.
I am, but I thought you wanted to. I thought I should at least say hello before I dip out and go get coffee.
Sure, let's switch. I mean, we could. Do you want to do the full
Well,
shenanigans or do you want to?
why don't you switch back to the crossword and do the crossword for a minute with the people while I go get a coffee?
Sounds good. Is this the camera I want? This is the camera I want.
Yes. Well, the camera you want
It's decent.
is that one.
That one
And
is,
then,
but then look at how small I am down here. Oh my goodness, you can barely see me. I'm so tiny. Hello, hello.
but then people can see the crossword.
But if they want to see the crossword, then they should be doing the crossword. What about how's this?
What about for the viewers who want to see what you're talking about in the crossword?
Am I going to be talking about the crossword?
Are you not going to do the crossword with the people?
I mean, maybe. I was probably just going to talk, honestly.
Okay, well you talk and leave the crossword up there. I need to go get a coffee or else I'm not gonna be worth
You're good. I already
my
got some tea. I had some room service delivered.
I'm not gonna be worth my weight in sand if I don't get some food in my stomach. Because right now it doesn't hurt, so let's keep it that way.
Ooh, or we could
So
do the bandle. Ooh, I might try to do the bandle. Ronald says it's a good one today.
well, why don't y'all do the bandle then? And I'll go get my food. How about that?
Let's see if I can get a bandle happening. That sounds good. Bandle. I'm trying to not blind myself. I have my little light. I'm gonna embiggen myself. Um, while I'm trying to get this pulled up. Oops, somebody pulling in answers. I have a light right here because without the light, it's so dark. I am so in shadow. So I was trying to have a light, but the only way to have me bright enough is to have this light fully blinding me in my eyeballs. I don't know what to do about it. Because I want the light there, but it is so bright. I need to get another like ring light. I have maybe I'll see if I can grab my ring light. I've got a ring light in that closet there that was packed away. We'll see. But for today, just pray for my retinas. Also share audio. We'll turn off the music. It feels like home. I've got the music. I've got the chat. I've got access to all the things. Okay. So I didn't actually pull it in. Let's actually pull it into the screen. Bandle? Ah. Okay. This is on StreamYard, so I don't know how well this is gonna go because StreamYard did not like me doing the bandle. I'm not going into the light, Judy. I really just want to go out of the light, but it's so dark. It's so dark. Okay, so let's see if we can hear this. Let me know if it sounds okay. Okay, that sounds honestly not even a little bit familiar. It just sounds like a beat to my brain. I'm not sure what that is, so I'm gonna fully skip and go to the next one. What do we got? This sounds like something. This sounds like something that oops, I bumped my microphone. This sounds like something that like I feel like if I knew it would be, I would get it from that. But I don't know if I know it very well. I'm gonna skip to the synth. Let's see what we got. Recognized it on 2, but couldn't get it until 4. Couldn't come up with it. Okay. Let's see if I can get it before Ronald. It sounds like something. Am I gone? Oh, has Spectrum taken me? I don't see a hint or a theme. It was released in 1987. It's got 161 million views on YouTube, whatever that means. Difficulty is very hard. I don't know. I got nothing. Oh, this is fully blinding me. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go to the backing vocal. So if I can get it here, then I'll get it on par with Ronald. Let's see. You're right. You're right. Ooh, it is Michael Jackson something. Oh, I'm gonna play the one with the backing vocals again because I feel like it is. They have no Janet Jackson songs in Vandal. Wild. I'm gonna play it again because I feel like I feel like I know it. Is it Heal the World? I feel no, it's I don't think it's Heal the World. Let me just type in Jackson. What do we got? Joe Jackson, you're not helping me. It's not Earth Song. It's not. Is it Black and White? Black or White? Because I know it's not Beat It. I know it's not Bad. I don't know Ben. Is it Man in the Mirror? Is Man in the Mirror in here? Is Man in the Mirror in here? It is. Is it? Okay. Yeah. Hang on. Hang on. Because I feel like we were missing some songs. There we go. But I think I agree with. I'm gonna listen to it one more time. I think I agree with Judy. I think it's Man in the Mirror. Yeah, something. Look at yourself and then make a change. I think it's Man in the Mirror. Smooth Criminal, mother. Coming from the woman who hates Michael Jackson. I think it's Man in the Mirror. We're gonna go with it and hopefully not fail. Hey, thank you, Judy, because I was not gonna place that. Like, I agreed with Michael Jackson, and I was like, which one is it? Because the little like at the end, I was like, this is so familiar. This is a song that I definitely know, but cannot place anywhere. Can we play another? Let's see. What happens if I say, can't wait, play more songs? No, you're just gonna take me to Pay for Bandol. Are there any other games that I could throw up? I don't have little snacks, so we can't do little snacks. I'm gonna put the crossword back up. Oh, it's so tiny. That's one thing that I did like about the other services is they had, I feel like, a lot more preset options of how to have the cameras. Because I kind of just want, can I mess with them? River, man, you're killing me. She does this thing where if she gets stressed out, then she'll just like on her like claws and her feet, and it is so obnoxious. What are these options? So you've got this option, but I'm so tiny, so little in the corner. Can I move me? Can we? Okay, edit layout. Ooh, edit layout. Doing it live. Can I? Oh, okay. What if we? Oh, too big, too big. What if I want them top and bottom? Are you guys seeing everything change while I'm messing with stuff? Um, what do these things mean? Change the border, change the shape. What does that do? Ooh, hello. I'm a bubble now. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Recognize it, but couldn't type fast enough, and then brain got the wrong title. Understandable. What if? What does that do? No, I don't want that. Can we? Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Okay, and then what? What do any of these things do? Okay. Mm, can I flip things? Fit fill. Okay. Move layer back on top, but none of these are the thing that I want, which is one of us on top of the other in bubbles. Discard changes. I'm about to be just out here messing with stuff. Honestly, no, I still don't like that one actually. I just feel like this is too small. But maybe it's not too small if this is your whole screen, because this is only part of my screen, and then the rest of my screen is you guys and settings. So maybe if this is my whole screen, then this isn't as tiny as yeah. If I full screen it, it's not as tiny as I think. Let me turn the music back on. None of you reminded me, shame. Ah, that's not what I wanted. There we go. I think we're probably going to be going back to StreamYard in general. We might mess around with Streamlabs a little bit more, just because Streamlabs has a way for me to stream my Xbox directly to the stream, so we can play more games like Cooking Delicacy, Delicious Delicacy. What is that game called? I've played it multiple times now. I still don't remember the name of the game. I just know that Delicacy is in there somewhere. So we can play like games. Because I do like little snacks, but like games are also fun. And I have several of them that I have not been playing because I don't have anyone to play them with. So now we can play games on Fridays if we can get in early enough. I might see if I can change my schedule at work, because recently my schedule at work has been bringing me in at noon and working noon to close. So I might see if we can adjust that schedule so I go in at like 2 instead of noon. That is not what I was expecting from this tea. I asked hubby, because he asked me if I wanted tea this morning. I said yes. And I said, try to find one with caffeine, because I had a friend just gift me a bunch of hot tea, because she like had a bunch of hot tea, and I think like she had people giving her hot tea, and then she also maybe bought some hot tea for herself, but she just does not drink a lot of hot tea. It's usually coffee. And so I'm like, I'll drink some tea. And so she just gifted me several like boxes and packets of hot tea. And so I asked him to find me one with caffeine in it, because most of the ones that she had did not have any caffeine in them. And so I was like, let's see if we can find one with caffeine. So I have mangosteen green tea today. I don't know the brand. Stash premium tea is what the tag says. But it's mangosteen green tea. And it's fruity and pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, based on the smell smelled more floral, but it's definitely more fruity. My 20 skeins of Granny Square all-in-one will arrive today, finally. So exciting. I just want to see all of these squares. I just want to see what I'm picturing in my brain is like at the end of the month, Ronald posts a picture to the Discord of him just like when kids like jump into a pile of leaves in the fall, of him just like in a pile of granny squares. Even though I know that's definitely not how many granny squares that many skeins will make. That is how many my brain pictures when I think 20 skeins worth of granny squares. Yeah, so many of them have no caffeine. The one that I really actually have been enjoying recently that I wanted to drink, but I need caffeine this morning, is it's called like a harvest time tea or something. But it's definitely just like an apple cidery kind of vibe. And it is very, very good. Not a lick of caffeine. Not even a little. I have two apple cidery type ones because there's the harvest one, and then there's another one that's specifically labeled like apple spice something. Neither one has caffeine. It's very unfortunate. So I've got the mango green tea today. And like I said, it's pretty good. I'm glad that it doesn't taste the way that it smells, but the smell was, I don't know. It's weird for it not to taste the way that it smells as well. Because it smells very floral. Very, very floral. And remind me, Ronald, you're making a shawl? A cover? A blanket? We're making... You said 100 times what you're making, and I don't know why my brain keeps thinking that you're going to make something else. I think my brain keeps thinking what I would make with like a billion granny squares, and for me that would be pants. I would be making granny square pants. Oh, my mother should be returning soon. Let me pull up the before she returns. In one of my groups, in one of my D&D groups on Discord, I played a bird person, and so very specifically because of that, I think we started a cloaca conversation.
What are you trying to do before I return?
Talk about cloacas.
No.
Because of that one choice that I made in our D&D group that one time, we've had so much cloaca talk. It's hilarious. My friend sent us a TikTok video of a person talking about how dinosaurs had cloacas, but he pronounces it wrong. He says cloacas, which I've only ever heard it called cloaca. And so he calls it cloacas. And so she sends the video and she's like, he's saying it wrong. And the fact that she felt like our D&D group was a good place to send that already is hilarious. And I said, this group has had so much cloaca talk. And the DM is like, far too much, honestly. So much cloaca.
Oh my goodness. So, you've been distracting them. They're not getting much progress done on the puzzle.
I have been well, we did the bandle. We got it in
Yes, you did
like
do the bandle.
5.
I took you downstairs with me. I heard you.
It took us so long to get it. Let's see. The intent is to... Right now I'm making millions of granny squares. The intent is to make market bags, and with the leftovers from each bag, because Skane has 2 extra squares that are not used in the bag, so leftovers will become a shawl for hubby. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Oh, that's going to be a very like scrappy kind of shawl. I love it. I'm excited to see.
Okay. We're ready to get this show on the road.
Yeah. Let's embiggen us and switch the music.
Yeah, since you have control of things, I'll just let you do all the clicking and clacking since you like it so much. Although
I have control again.
We don't get to have our background, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Why not? What happened to
just get us started, and I'll do the intro, and then we'll talk about it in life updates.
Okay. Because I was about to do some clicks over here.
It's not that big a deal, but you know.
Yeah, I was about to do some clicking, but go ahead. So I'll get rid of the pre-show rambles tag. I'm out of practice. I don't know what I'm supposed to be bringing up.
I'm letting you do all the things.
Hide that, and yes.
Even though we're not bringing in Instagram today, right?
We're not, but we want to stay in the habit of things for when we do bring in either Instagram or TikTok.
Okay, so you ready?
Yes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday Coffee Klatsch. I am your presenter, Dani, the empty-headed Edith, and this is my partner in crime,
Artemis, the fatigued, as usual.
And if you have never been here before, welcome. And if you are here and wondering what it is we do, we We are not one particular niche. We are your audio ambiance. We are your background sound. We chitter and chatter, knitter and natter, and keep you company while you are doing the laundry. If you're a Psalm staying at home with the children, we're the only adult voice in your ear. And if you need to calm down because you started your first day in the big city at the big city library that you always dreamed of working at, and you have a beautiful new apartment that your best friend with the rich boyfriend bought for you in his building, just so you could be near your best friend to make her happy. And you go to start your first day on the big city job. And even before you get done with the orientation, you accidentally summon an orc from a book on the pedestal. And the orc carries you away to a cave before you can call anybody. And you do not speak each other's language. If you need to calm down, pull that smartphone out of your pocket and bring us up. We'll be there for you while you're waiting for your best friend to get there and rescue you.
So many questions.
And in case you can't tell, that was not my real life. That was summoning the orc from a series by Sam King. And she writes female main characters of the color.
Ooh.
All her characters are nice and a lovely shade of brown.
Nice. I'm still trying to figure out why they had a book that would summon an orc just laying out on a pedestal out for the public to see.
Well, because she was working in the Enchanted Tome section on the top floor of the library.
Okay, so if she knew that she was working in the Enchanted Tome section, why is she reading stuff aloud? Because I'm assuming that's what happened.
Because the tome called her from her apartment all the way to the book.
So you thought this was a good thing to follow, ma'am? Like you're at your house, your phone rings and says, "Hey, it's me, the Enchanted Tome girly. Get down here." And you're like, "Yes, let's follow that thread." Wild.
It's a fun book. It's a fun series. I mean, there's a little bit of danger, but it's not mafia, because this author also writes mafia. It's not mafia.
Ronald, cracking me up.
I have never seen The Mummy myself, so
I feel like I've seen part of it. I've never watched the whole thing.
It's just not my thing. What you do need to watch inside baseball, for those of you who are not on TikTok, what you do need to watch is the Harvey Girls.
Oh yeah, because I posted that video yesterday.
Giving quotes for movies you've never seen.
Because I fully follow TMC on TikTok, and I'm like, there's so many good unutilized sounds here. Yeah. Because they give just the juiciest sound bites. They're so good.
They do. I follow them as well. They do have good sounds. The Mummy is not my kind of movie, Junie.
The Mummy definitely is my vibe. I just haven't watched it yet.
It is so not my vibe.
There's so many movies that I have not watched yet.
So to start things off, now that we have already talked about the book, although I was going to show you a cover, I haven't had a book with a good cloaca in months.
Wild.
And I am disappointed, to be honest. To be quite honest. But I was going to show you the cover of this book. But tell the people again what you're eating and drinking.
I am eating air because I don't have any food right now. And I am drinking, I was going to hold my cup up as if that was going to show anything other than my cute mug. I love my mug. But I am drinking mangosteen green tea because it is one of the few ones in the stash that I have acquired that has caffeine. Yes, I know this, Ronald, and that makes me feel like a bad millennial bisexual, honestly.
Well, no wonder that's not my movie. Me being the perfectly cishet woman that I am. Where is this? I am having the last of my Jimmy Dean chicken biscuits,
Oh, I meant to
which
tell. Oh, I meant to tell hubby to buy some of those. He did the grocery
that
order
really
yesterday.
minute 30 in the microwave. They are so good.
I'm texting him right now and see if he's already done the order because he was supposed to be doing a grocery order today.
And here is our cover with our lovely person, our female.
Ooh, I like that art though.
Yes.
That's cute. I like the art.
Yes, it is cute. And where's the first book?
So, are the books a series in the same
Yeah,
universe?
it's a series.
Okay.
It's a series in the same universe. The first book is the best friend.
Okay.
That's the first book.
Wild. I love this art so much.
Oh, it is such a controversy in the a minor controversy in the romance community. They don't like the cartoony covers.
Really?
Because they feel I like the cartoony covers, but the only problem I have with the cartoony cover is if it does not represent properly. We're going
The
to get into
character.
life updates, but not necessarily the character, but the tone.
Mm.
Like this series, there's a little bit of danger in the series, but for the most part, it's a light-hearted series.
Yeah.
So the cartoon covers go.
Mhm.
But I have read series generally
Spectrum is eating you up.
contemporary
Spectrum is
series.
coming for you.
It's here. Do you still hear me?
I hear you now. I think it's
You still hear
recovering.
me?
I think there we go. I think it's recovered. So something about
Okay.
contemporary series.
Okay. Contemporary romance is basically real life with just normal. Just normal,
Mhm.
modern, contemporary life. There's no magic, there's no vampires, there's no fae, there's no orcs, there's no aliens, nothing. And they put cartoon covers on those books, which is fine, but then the book will be full of serial killers and people being kidnapped and tied in the basement and stuff like that. That does not match the vibe of the book.
Did the cartoons look serious? Because like having an illustrated cover is just like, I don't know. I feel like
the tone of the illustrated covers are very light.
Yeah, because I feel like you can do an illustrated cover and have it serious.
The cover always looks like a meet cute. It's just like it's in like the way they draw it. The characters have a smile on their face. The girl maybe have her heel. How the girl have her leg kicked up behind her, kind of thing. And then you open it and 2 chapters in, she's getting kidnapped by the mafia boss or some nonsense. So that's my thing. If it doesn't match, if it's not a light-hearted book, then
I like that art style though. That art style is cute.
Yeah. But this art style is even different than what the illustrated covers usually are.
Yeah, that art style very much feels like that art style is definitely somebody who has watched anime. I feel it.
Because the art style is usually, would you please? I'm trying to show.
The Spectrum will not allow.
I'm trying to show. No, right now Kindle will not allow.
Ooh.
Let's pull it up. Okay, yeah. Now, see, here's one. This is supposed to be an enemies to lovers, and they have serious faces, but
Hmm.
still, it's pink, and there's paper everywhere. Even though they have serious faces on, you're not going to take that seriously. You're going to expect that to still be light. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it
And
yeah.
this is the style that's been popular on the covers of the contemporary books right now. I don't read contemporary, so I don't really care. But I have been hit a couple
Yeah,
times.
I feel like the color choices, the backgrounds, yeah, I agree with you.
I've been hit. I don't generally read. It's like I don't. It's not that I never read contemporary, but I don't generally read
Hmm.
contemporary, and I have um accidentally run across some every once in a while where,
Hmm.
the cover looks like that, but like in the first chapter, the first 5 pages, we have a character who is going home to clean out the house because her father died, and she's trying not to think about it. And so the tone is all sad and don't give me a cartoon cover with that.
Yeah. Well, I feel like an illustrated
Even
cover.
if it's gonna get happy later, don't give me a cartoon cover with that, because the first 5 pages she's cleaning up her dead father's house and is
Yeah,
sad about it.
I feel like an illustrated cover could be good. I feel like as someone who looks at a lot of illustrations, because I follow like a lot of illustrators on TikTok because I am an artiste who loves looking at other artists. As someone who looks at a lot of illustrations on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, I feel like an illustrated cover. I feel like the illustration is not the problem. The fact that it's illustrated, I feel like maybe the color choices and trying to like fit with the tone of the book is like, I feel like there should have been maybe more conversations between the author and the illustrator.
Yeah, yeah.
And Junie also agrees that she hates that style and tries to avoid books with those.
I mean, again, I don't hate the style. I just
Doesn't don't feel like it fits.
it doesn't fit.
Yeah. So I have nothing in life updates. I don't have any other upcoming markets except for like way later on. I got hired for a job in December. So there's a holiday party that's going to be happening. So I got hired for 4 hours for a job in December, but that's way off. Um, Other than that, it's supposed to be a flapper party. And so I'm like, what am I going to wear to that? I don't own anything that would fit in I don't own anything that would fit in with a flapper. I think I might I think I might borrow a dress from work and return it like one of the flapper dresses because I think they have a couple plus size flapper dresses. So I might borrow a dress. I'm thinking like if I borrow a dress, some gloves, and one of those cigarette holders
Hmm.
from work. But what am I gonna do with my hair is what I'm concerned about. Because mohawks were not necessarily in vogue during that time frame.
Don't you still have one of your short wigs?
Uh, mm, I've got one. The one that I used to wear a lot, the one that I wore, the one that you're probably thinking of that I wore when I did my drag king makeup that has the little bit of like blondish, like ash blonde in the front. That one is gone. It got destroyed. So I do not have that one anymore. I have another short one that's like it's technically a men's wig. It's a wig that like got unboxed at work, couldn't find the box, like people like tore it up or whatever. So I took it home, and it's a men's wig. It's got like a little like bouffant kind of poof at the front. But I feel like it doesn't. It's not the same vibe. But I have until December. I'll figure it out. I'll make something happen. But other than that, I have no markets coming up. Ooh, and maybe I could borrow the short gray wig.
That's Junie always coming in clutch.
Mm-hmm. Junie has so many just useful things, just tucked away places. But what about you? Do you have any life updates? Anything going on as you're chewing your Jimmy Dean biscuit?
Not really. Your father um
Is still on vacay?
Still on vacay. He should be back this Saturday. He sent me a picture. He got his platinum carnival card, which is what he has been aiming toward all this time. Um,
So does that mean next time we're going on Royal Caribbean?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yes, StreamYard, which isn't really much of a life update. It's just I got up this morning and my brain was like, you know what? I don't feel like fiddling with these, even though I spent the money. And generally, my brain would be, you spent the money, you need to go ahead and use the other services. But as soon as I figured out that, I don't know if we talked about this in pre-show rambles before, or if it was just you and me talking about it, but I got an email from StreamYard and figured out that StreamYard still has a free option. The email wasn't to tell me about the free option. The email was to tell me that their terms and conditions had changed, blah, blah, blah. And at the bottom of it, it was telling me as part of that change, they were doing something with their free option, making some changes to their free option. And I was like, I didn't realize you still had a free option.
Mm-hmm.
And I went back and I thought, honestly, I thought my whole account would be gone since I canceled the paid option that I had. But I just, pulled up StreamYard and there I was, still logged in and everything. And the free option is still there.
Which the free option definitely works for us, because the only reason that we were switching to the paid option was so that we could stream to there were two things. One, so we could stream to extra places, which we don't super need anymore. One, because we're streaming on Twitch on Fridays, which we might just end up using a different service for that. And we're only streaming to one other place on Wednesdays once I get my situation together. So we don't need the extra places. The other reason that we were doing the paid tier, that first paid tier, was because we only have a certain amount of time per month that we were having to fit into, and that was back when we were doing more like 3-hour streams, like longer streams, so that we could have the extra time. But one, now we have cut Fridays because we're going to be doing a different service, so we don't need to do that. And two, we have been doing shorter streams because I got to get to work. So the free option will work for us for now, at least. But explain to me why we can't do the coffee beans.
Because backgrounds are not free as part of the free option. We can still use the music as far as I understand, but backgrounds are not free. And they've added intro and outro videos like we had on the other service, but we don't get them for free. That's also part of the paid.
So if I click this show background right now, is it going to give me a pop-up?
Yeah, it probably will.
Rude. Which is so wild that backgrounds they're
doing more. Either I don't remember this from when we were doing free before, or they've added this, but it feels like they're doing more pop-ups when there's stuff. It used to be, from what I remember, you didn't have access to the option if you couldn't use it. It wasn't there on the side.
They're trying to put it in your face so you know that it's there, and so that you pay for the thing.
And now all the things are there, but if you click on something, it'll say, you can have that one unless you pay.
Yeah, they're trying to dangle it in our faces. So
it's like when I went to start the live stream today, it said, do you want to go ahead and set up your intro and outro video now? And I was like, okay, sure. And I click it and said, okay, pay us some money. I'm like, why'd you offer me the intro and outro if you knew that I was not paying?
So rude. So rude.
But
so yeah, so got a little leaf background.
It seems like it'll work for what we're doing if we do, because it's 20 hours a month. So technically, if we stuck right at 2 hours each time, we could do StreamYard for the whole thing.
It's 20 hours a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if
But
there's 4 Wednesdays in the month, 2, 4, 6, 8, we got plenty of hours, baby.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We could do Wednesdays and Fridays on StreamYard,
Oh, that's
but
what you're saying.
that's what I'm saying. But just to, give ourselves some leeway,
Leeway.
and to
I think this,
force us to learn how to use Streamlabs.
yeah.
We could do Streamlabs on Friday on Twitch,
I
because
think
I think
Streamlabs runs better on Friday anyway, because like we've already had a couple instances of Spectrum trying to eat you up, and I feel like we barely had that at all when we're doing it on Friday, and you're
yeah,
able to stream in the game.
yeah, yeah. I think it ran very smoothly on Friday. And because I think, from what I understand, Streamlabs, which is based on OBS, is designed specifically for Twitch.
Hmm.
Not specifically, but like they were aiming
With
toward
Twitch in mind, yeah.
with Twitch in mind. Yes, they were aiming toward Twitch. So
Awesome,
so
awesome.
so before we move in on to other stuff, you got hard out at 12?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. Okay, so do we have any yarny crafty updates?
Not really. I am in a crochet slump again. I have like half started several things. So I've got if I can scoot back here. We all remember I was making the Santa hats. Let's see. I have not that one. This one. So I posted the picture to the Discord of me wearing this Santa hat, the non-binary pride flag hat. Super cute. And I went to make a classic Santa hat, but I was making this at work and ran out of red. So this is like a child size. I also don't know what happened here. I think I keep switching the way that I change the color, but I'm not gonna redo it. But so I just need to add the pom pom to that one, and then I started my trans flag one, and then just kind of stopped because I was not feeling like making it. And I started while we were playing D&D the other day. I started just a hat with the leftover of my Super Saver favorite stripe.
That color looks so good.
It's Super Saver favorite stripe is my favorite striped yarn. They named it aptly. So I am hoping that if I do a couple more rows, I can get down to the green so we can have all the colors in there. But we'll see how that goes. But I started that like days ago. Have not finished it.
You should do the cluster hat that I'm doing in the favorite stripe.
Maybe. Well, I don't have very much favorite stripe left. That's like the rest of my favorite stripe. So I'd have to go out and buy another favorite stripe. And then my crochet bag is not even in here, but I can tell you that there's not much in it. I grabbed some random yarn. I think I had like a green ombre yarn that I think also is Red Heart. I grabbed a green ombre yarn and just started another like regular beanie hat. Have not finished it. I just keep starting hats. I think I was in a hat groove for a little while, and so I'm like, well, let me like switch which hat I'm making. And I don't want to make any hats. I think I'm just in a slump of I don't feel like making anything, but I've got markets coming up in December, so I need to make things. It's a problem.
Yeah, I get that feeling because I did. It was a push for me to do one full round on this hat yesterday. I mean, I pushed myself to get to the end of the round before I went to bed, and it's not even that big. So again, I'm going to show you the hat again, and it's going to look the same as it looked last week because
because you've done one round.
No, I've done. It's like I do like one round a day, or sometimes I do half a round a day. I have like I think it's like 5 rounds left because I'm not putting the pom pom on it. So I have like
cute,
5 rounds left. You can see that it's starting to narrow because I'm doing But yeah, the color Brown is not really my color, but I think this would make a nice men's hat.
Hmm. That's the other thing is I'm trying to make hats that like for our mask friends out in the world. And the problem is all the colors that I buy are very like
Hmm.
pastel and bright, and I don't have very many like grays and browns and
Which
earth
brings me,
tones.
which brings me to the other thing that I wanted to mention, which is that I got an email from um that's the only crafty thing I've done. I thought about coloring and I haven't colored. I thought about
I
I
could
thought
never.
about doing my stickers. I have a couple books on my library list that I
Hmm.
want to download onto my laptop, not my laptop, you know, my
I've
big
had
oversized phone. Thank you.
oh
Um
your oversized phone.
um that are what am I trying to do?
Well, while you're figuring out what you're trying to do, I pulled up this comment from Ronald who says, "I've decided I'm going to do the Kelsey thing and start weaving ends as I go. I've been
That's what I
waiting
do.
till the I've been waiting till the whole skein is done, but it's just a huge burden to do so many ends at once. I could
Yes.
never.
Oh, I weave in ends as I go all the time.
Stopping my whole groove to weave in some ends when I could be starting another thing? Absolutely not. I've not
No,
weaved in the ends of a single one of those Santa hats.
the ends annoy me because they get in my way. So as a matter of fact, I did several projects because I know we've talked about this before, but when got back into knitting and crocheting when you were a baby, because I learned when I was in junior high,
Mhm.
but then there was a gap, and then when you were a baby, I discovered the online knitting community. I guess that's what we should call it,
Mhm.
and back then everybody talked about how making knots was the devil, was the work of the devil. You do not knot your, like, if you run out of yarn and you're gonna add the new yarn, you don't make a knot, because the knot was going to eventually work its way to the front of the project, and then you'd have like a big knot just sticking out the front of your sweater or whatever, because knots are ugly, whatever.
Okay.
And but recently I've seen another thing that has come from all the young girlies doing crochet, because it was the knitting people really who always said no knots, no knots, no knots. I didn't really hear so much from the crochet people, but because I wasn't really hanging in crochet spaces back then.
Mhm.
But all the young gals who are getting into crochet now, the ones your sister's age and younger,
Mhm.
are all,
I'm not the young girlies.
you're not the young girlies anymore, and they they just break all the rules. They don't care because they don't read patterns. They don't know
No.
how to read charts. They break all the rules, and one of the rules they break is that they put knots in their work.
I recently
And
saw a video. The video got cut off because my TikTok likes to refresh itself mid video sometimes because I need a new phone. But I was watching a video where this girl, she was younger than me, so I guess she's part of the young girlies crowd. But she was making like wearables, like sweaters and stuff. And
mhm,
she said that her grandmother taught her, and her grandmother taught her that having like tying knots is like ugly, and you never want to tie a knot, and you always want to weave in the end so they're all invisible and blah blah, and you never want to see it. But then
mhm.
she was saying, it sounded like, because like I said, she got cut off, but it sounded like she was saying that, but what her grandmother was making was always like decor items, so like doilies and stuff, and wearables, you want something more sturdy than weaved in ends. But then it got cut off, so I don't know if like she was saying that knots are better for wearables because it'll last longer and like
Okay,
the ends
no,
won't get worked out.
that
But
that I that's a falsehood right there,
okay.
because I I have, me, I don't take pride in a lot of my work. I always feel, like, oh, I don't know if this is good enough. I don't know if this is right. I don't know if that is right. but I can weave in some ends. I can weave in some ends that you will never find. Because I have gone back to projects that I have had, where because as since I weave in as I go,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I don't finish a project and decide, I want to harvest that yarn and use it for something else. And I go back to a project and I have spent 45 minutes to an hour trying to find the end to get out of that project
Mm-hmm.
because I weave in my ends. That's one thing I am very good at. My ends are not coming out.
I feel like my ends are very findable. I feel like I just like shoot, 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 and snip it because I am trying to move on to the next project.
My ends are they are very sturdy. They are not coming out. But I have started using knots recently, and I think the one thing I can say is that part of the reason that the crochet girlies probably do knots is because in crochet, I don't think you're going to see a knot as easily as you are in a knit. If you've knit, excuse me, if you've knit something in stockinette stitch, which is just like a flat stitch, and then you change the color halfway through and you got a knot right here in the middle, yeah, that knot might poke through. And it'll be very visible. Or even if it stays on the other side, you're just going to be aware of it because it's going to be, oh, it's right there in my shirt and it's rubbing up against me and whatever. You're going to be aware of it.
As long as you do a pretty small knot, it's not bad. Like I will do
on crochet. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Where do you think you're going to see a knot?
Yeah, crochet does have a lot more texture.
Yeah, crochet has a lot of texture, so I don't think you're going to see the knot.
But also, when you're changing colors, if you do, what's it called? I think it's the fisherman knot. I can't remember, but it's the one where you got the two strands and you tie a knot over here and then you tie a knot over here and you pull them together and it like tightens itself so it can't come out. That's the one that I use to change. I think it's called fisherman's knot, but that's the one that I use to change when I'm changing colors and adding a new skein or whatever. And it is like, it makes a pretty tiny knot. Like you can pull it pretty tight and it makes a pretty tiny knot.
So they've added new colors in Biddy Stripes.
Ooh, what colors did they add? I saw Biddy Stripe at Joann the other day when I was at Joann's, and I almost bought some. I was like,
and you were talking about you don't have colors that guys would like, but they've added. That would be mask. I'm sorry, I didn't mean guys. Mask, but they added this newsprint color that I think.
I like that one. That's similar to Red Heart has another newsprint yarn. Yeah, this one has more like the colors aren't as solid. It's like more speckled and like whatever Biddy Stripe is, whatever Biddy Stripe does. It feels more tie-dye, honestly.
It's just shorter color changes. That's why they call it Biddy Stripes, because it's just shorter. I wish they had a.
Well, it's shorter color changes, but the color changes also like bleed into each other more.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish they had a worked up, because sometimes they have a worked up piece on the screen that you can see, and they don't have it in this one. Mm-hmm. But they've got this one.
I like the new stripe.
The Horizon is a new one, which is all the blues, which I think would also be a good mask color, because your father's favorite color is blue. Mm-hmm. And I would make him something, but he has never in his life worn a thing I've made. No, I take that back. I think he wore one of the hats, because now that he's thinner than he used to be, he gets cold quicker. Mm-hmm. And now that he's been shaving his head bald for several years, rather than have the just the spot up top, so he wears hats now, because he has to work at the.
He works in the windy doorway at the airport, right?
Yeah, he works at that tunnel part where they bring the walkway up to the airport door.
The part that connects the plane to the building.
Yeah, the part that connects the plane to the building. Yeah, he works there. So he has to have his jacket and his hat, because he gets cold now. He used to be hot all the time, and he gets cold now. Now I'm the one who's hot, because woman of a certain age. Pink lemonade is another new color they have. Definitely not
Ooh,
mask, but I'm attracted to it.
it's giving lesbian pride flag, honestly, and I
I'm
love it.
attracted. I'm attracted to it because I do like. I used to hate pink when I was a young adult.
Mm-hmm.
When I was, and your Aunt Terry used to love pink, and
Mm-hmm.
now she's not so much into pink, and I am more into pink, especially now that I realize that I actually look good in pink.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, what's the other?
Meanwhile, my favorite color is orange, and I look horrible in it.
They have this rainbow mist that I'm not feeling because it's just
It's
very,
oh, it's very pastel-y.
yeah, it's very pastel-y. And there's one more. What is it? Moonbeam, which is like very
Shades
beige.
of beige.
Yes, it's very
Are there
shades of
even
beige.
shades? It looks like one
It barely looks,
color.
yeah, it barely looks like there's any shades in there. It looks like one color. It looks like a marled beige, basically.
It looks like
But
you
yeah.
have boiled some noodles and have not yet added any sauce.
But yeah, the newsprint, I am attracted to this. So I want to get this. And there's another, there's something else that has newsprint. They
Yeah,
have,
I want to say it's Red Heart has another newsprint like colored one. It's just stripes.
okay. Is it this one? Are they leading me to it? I
Are they
typed in
leading you to it?
newsprint.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yes,
thinking of.
Red Heart Super Saver Stripes is
I
newsprint. There we go.
didn't you have that before at some point,
I did not,
or
because
maybe I had.
I have never purchased Super Saver Stripes. Every time I see you working with it, I'm like, I would really like to try the
Do
stripes.
it
Honestly, I have not, until I bought that all-in-one. I have not tried any of the Red Heart
like new.
variety. Well, no, because this is a stripe yarn. Let me take that back, because latte is a stripe yarn.
Yeah.
So this is my first stripe yarn. Until I bought this and used this, I had not used any of the specialty yarns. All of the Red Heart I used was straight up Red Heart Super Saver,
The solid
worsted
colors.
weight. I had not tried any of the other weights. I had not tried any of the specialty colorways or anything. I mean, I used variegated Red Heart, but back then, Red Heart Super Saver variegated was just another Red Heart Super Saver. They didn't separate it out into different
Mhm.
lines or whatever. So yeah, I I haven't really used a lot of, and every time I see somebody use them, I'm like, I want to try this and I want to try that, but
Do
I
it.
am held, no, I am held back by the fact that I have all this other stuff
We need to
in
do
my
some sort of yarn
house,
trade.
all this other stuff in my house that I feel like I need to use. So, although I take that back, your father bought me, I see it out of the corner of my eye, that's why I'm saying it. Your father bought me this yarn years ago. This is a yarn, and this yarn has been discontinued. And he bought me, like, I think 3 skeins of it. And I had not used fun yarns back then. So I did not know what to do with it. And I still haven't found anything to do with it. And it's one of those things that weighs on me because it's a gift that he bought me and I need to find a way to use it. Even though he doesn't feel guilty about leaving a $200 gift to sit down there for 5 years that I bought him, but I feel guilty that I haven't used it yet. And it's this Red Heart Symphony.
Ooh.
And I have 3 skeins of it. And I
It's
have
so
and
fluffy.
I've had it for at least 10 years. It's been
Hold. Can you hold up a strand? How big is
it
it?
has been discontinued. It's considered a 4.
But is it a real 4 or is it a dream of
Not
a 4?
It's a dream of a 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3 with some hair on it.
Yeah,
And
it's a 3 plus air.
that's why they're calling it a 4, because it's a dream. It's a 3 with some hair on it. And I
Okay.
think all the hair, if I, let's see, can I be a YouTuber? Oh,
Ooh, hang on. What if we do this? Nope, not me. Not me. How do I
Be,
big and
be
use?
a YouTuber for a second. Does that help?
There we go.
See this hair
Mm-hmm.
all around it, but technically it's a three.
Right? Like, is the four in the room with us now?
You can see that right there is a good place. You can see that's a three, and
Yeah.
then there's hair around it. So I guess the hair bulks it up to a four.
You know what you should do with that. You know what all of the young girlies are doing with yarn like that. Take a big ass hook and make like a mesh like sweater like throw over cover over, why can I not think of a word? But like a big mesh like
Pullover.
sweater, yes, sweater topper pullover. Because that's what the
Why?
girlies would do with that. Because that's what the girlies are doing with that.
I would never wear it.
That's true. But
Now
you could though.
the pattern on the, I should just leave it here instead of keep reaching for it. The pattern on the
Yeah, what do they want you to make with it?
they want you to make this hat, which is a discount knockoff of a mob wife hat,
Wild.
and they've got the scarf too.
No. Incorrect, no. Ronald, what is this? I'm not pulling this comment up because I'm worried I haven't read it all. This man on Grindr is sending me such crazy stuff, and I told him I'm not interested. I told him I like younger guys just to get rid of him. He comes back with, I'm 34. You look like my grandpa. The lies. Not him doing a bad catfish.
Oh Lord.
Wild.
Oh, Lord. Ronald was taught not to make knots by the elder lesbian in 2005. I also have, see, this is Red Heart Super Saver that I've had for 5 million years.
Mm.
And I was trying to see if there was a date on it. They used to put dates on the labels. But see, they just called it Super Saver. They didn't, you see there's nothing down there that says stripes
Yeah.
or ombre or nothing. It's just Super Saver. And you see this is clearly a color,
Mm-hmm.
a variegated something. So they used to just pile them all under the same classification.
Ronald said he looked like the orc that was summoned from the book on a pedestal.
And I still have, looks like a skein and a half of this. I can't remember what I made out of this.
I can't see the colors super well, so I would not be able to help you.
I might have made that hat for Aunt Joanne. It's purples.
That does look like that.
Yellows.
I've seen that yarn before.
So maybe that's what I made with it. I bought this to make myself a skirt.
A skirt?
There was a skirt back in the day that was all the rage on Ravelry, and I bought that yarn and I was going to make the skirt, and I started the skirt, and then I was like, you know what, I don't think I'm going to make this skirt. My butt is just too big to be.
I have been, speaking of skirts, I wore my skirt that I crocheted again the other day, and I've been telling myself over and over, oh, I could just write a pattern for this, and then I could sell the pattern and have the skirt pattern. But I have been trying, like, there's so many things that I'm like, I could write a pattern for this thing and then keep putting it off because I don't want to put the energy into writing a pattern. I don't even know where to start. Like, if there was a program where I could like fill stuff in and just like, oh, what size yarn to use, this, what size this, and then like fill it in. But it's also like so much of the stuff that I like, if I'm making the pattern myself, is so loosey goosey. Is so like, oh, this vibe is off, let's take it out and redo it a different way. Like, so much of what I do is so loosey goosey that trying to like nail it down so it can be recreated by another human being is frustrating.
Oh, and before I forget, this I'm almost finished with this, and it only took a little over half of the skein, because you were saying you don't have that much favorite stripe.
Mm-hmm.
But only because I still have this much left of my skein.
Ooh. Yeah, so that's not bad.
Because I remember I was making the
You're making the do-rag out of that, right?
I was making the do-rag out of this, and the do-rag, one half of the do-rag is exactly half of this skein.
Okay.
And then you do the other half. So I took apart the half that I had made, because I had stopped right at the halfway point. I took apart the half that I had made, and that's all of this.
Mm.
So I only have, like I said, like 5 rows left to close off the top of this hat. So it's not quite.
Yeah, it doesn't use up as much as I thought it would.
Yeah, it's only a little over a half. I thought it was going to take the whole hat, because with these cluster stitches, I thought sure.
Yes, because we were traumatized from cluster stitches from making that sweater.
Yes.
When we were making that pullover.
So I thought, yeah, this is going to take up the whole skein, but it didn't. But on the Yarny Thoughts thing, and then we can move on, I was watching TikToks, and number one, because I have been enamored of, I'm on the 6-day blanket TikTok.
You and me and every other girlie in the world.
I keep getting those. For those who don't know, on TikTok there is a trend right now among the crochet girls. First of all, the 6-day star blanket is very popular. And are you about to look up the 6-day star blanket?
Yes, I'm pulling it up.
The 6-day star blanket is designed by a woman called Betty McKnit, is her handle online.
That's cute.
Yes. And it's become very popular. She named it 6-day because the original, 6-day is more the name of a pattern than a prescription for how long it's going to take you to do it. But a lot of people do the challenge
are
doing the challenge to see if they can do it in 6 days. She calls it 6-day because the original pattern that she made was for either a baby blanket or a toddler blanket, and it only took her 6 days to do it. So then she adapted that pattern to make like larger blankets or blankets with more points on them or whatever. And so she has like a whole list of patterns that are variations on this, and they all come under the 6-day umbrella.
Ronald says that isn't just TikTok, it's everywhere.
Well, yeah, the only social media I get on now is TikTok. I rarely go to Instagram. Like if I read a news article or something and they say such and such famous model did such a thing on her Instagram page, then I will go to look at that specific Instagram to see what they're talking about. But in general, even though I have an Instagram account, I don't go on Instagram anymore. And I don't go on Facebook anymore. And TikTok, I quit as soon as Elon Musk bought it. I totally.
You mean Twitter?
Didn't I call it Twitter? Did I call it TikTok?
Yes.
Twitter. I was trying not to call it X because I refuse to call it X. So the T word came out of my mouth. But Twitter, yeah, I got rid of that account. I mean, I went like Facebook and Instagram. I still have accounts. I just don't
check them. Yeah.
I don't check them. I use the logins for things like Facebook. I use my login specifically
for like everything
to log into games.
Oh, I use it for Spotify and like anything that gives me the option. Usually, if it doesn't have the option for Google but has the option for Facebook, which is not very many.
Kind of. I use Google. I use the Google option to log in if it gives me Google. But if it's a game like a mobile game or something, they usually give you the Facebook option, and I just use the Facebook option, just to save myself time, and which is the whole reason I got Facebook back in the day. Anyway, was to play Facebook games back when Farmville used to be a thing. So I don't really care. But with Twitter, I went scorched earth and completely deleted my profile and everything, which is
wild considering you've had a Twitter since like day one.
Yeah, really. I've had Twitter since day dot, when they didn't even have a website or a thing where people were you were getting tweets directly to your phone. And they didn't have an app or anything. It just directly came in as texts to your phone.
Wild.
And my husband worked at the now defunct Sprint, and so I had an unlimited text plan back when people were paying 10 cents per text. I had an unlimited plan, so I didn't care about text coming to my phone. And I was living it. It was during those times where work at home wasn't as big as it is now. So I was at home unemployed, kids in school, husband at work, me at home lonely all day. So that was like my conversation with people all day. So yeah, I had been on Twitter since the days where it was not considered tacky or ironic or anything to talk about what you ate for lunch.
Mm.
It was just what you did. It was like, okay, I'm having super blah 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 for lunch, and you would tweet that, and it was before all the comedians and everybody else was on Twitter. That's how long I had been on Twitter. And when Elon Musk bought it, I was like, you know what? And I thought, and silly me, I thought as much as everybody says they hate Elon Musk, I thought there would be a mass exodus from Twitter, and there has not been. But
there's been a pretty big. It seems like from the channels that I've been watching, the news that I've been watching, it seems like there has been a mass exodus. It's just been a slow mass exodus because people are trying to figure out where they're going to go. But it seems like a lot of people are moving. Like a lot of my favorite YouTubers who they post all of their live streams and stuff on Twitter are moving to Blue Sky. A lot of the content creators that I've seen are moving to Blue Sky. So it seems like that's the place that everybody's going to.
I think it just depends on, I think there's room service behind you. I think it just depends on who you talk to. Like they say in the tech world all the time, the place the place to replace is, or the place to go is where all your friends are. I mean, the best service is where all your friends are, or where your community is, because you may think Blue Sky is the best, but if all of your friends have moved over to Threads, then Blue Sky is not the service for you.
It was definitely not Taco Bell. It was an Aldi's bag.
Fudge rounds. Look at you.
Yes, mint fudge rounds.
Oh my goodness.
They're so good.
Yep, Junie, that was me. I was like, I'm not having it.
Not playing around. But circling back,
I tried Threads, and Threads was confusing to me.
I keep thinking I'm going to download Threads and then don't. Circling back, all of this was about the 6-day star blanket on TikTok.
Yes, all this was about the 6-day star blanket. So yes, and well, the trend specifically, I can't speak for Instagram or whatever, but the trend that I see on TikTok is everybody playing some sort of song. It's not always the same song or whatever, but they've got their blanket,
and it's rolled up like a carpet.
They got their blanket rolled up like this, and then
then they drop it,
and then and they do, a lot of people do repeated things.
They'll do a couple clips of
day 1,
day 5,
day 3, so you can see how it's gotten bigger and everything. And one woman did hers in a way where she went 1 skein, 2 skeins, 3 skeins instead of just the days. And that was nice. And that also let me realize, because I don't have a good,
it's hard to judge how much yarn it's going to take to make a thing.
Yeah, I'm not good at visualizing lengths and things like that. So you gave me 2 cakes of yarn, and I thought, I could make one of those blankets with the 2 cakes of matching yarn that you gave me. And then I saw her go 3 cakes, 4 cakes. I was like, okay, so I clearly don't have, because she was using the same yarn that I was thinking of using, and I'm like, so I clearly don't have enough yarn. I'm glad that she did that, so I know. But also that let me know that if it takes that much yarn, then I could use up a good bit of what I've got sitting
You could
over
make a
here
very scrappy six
that
day star blanket and just
that is making me but also as I was crocheting on this hat and pushing myself to do one round, I was like, I'm not getting this done in 6 days. 6 days is not what's going to happen with this, but I still want to do it. I still want to try it.
even as fast as I crochet, I do not want to make that. I don't even want to try in 6 days. I don't think I would make it. I don't think it would happen.
I am attracted to scrappy projects simply because I have all this yarn here and I keep having this fantasy of I'm going to find a project that's going to let me put all this yarn together instead of trying to find
Mm-hmm.
like a slipper project that takes 2 skeins and this hat project that takes 1 skein and then
Just
this other
slap it
project
all
that
in a
takes 1
blanket.
skein. I feel I want a project that's going to let me slap it all into something big, into like a
Mm-hmm.
blanket or whatever, so that I can feel good about getting rid of it.
Do it. I also saw,
So,
speaking of the 6 day star blanket videos on TikTok, I can't remember if I sent you this one or not. I may not have, but there was this lady. It was so good. She's like, "Ooh, here's my 6 day star blanket. Holds up nothing, drops nothing." And it says in the caption, "I don't know how to crochet, but I've really been enjoying this trend."
you did not send me that, but that's cute.
It was so
That's
funny. It's
cute.
just like nothing.
That's cute. But I think the 6 day star blanket is grabbing me, because it is a trend, and as much as I like to think that I'm not always susceptible to trends, sometimes I am, and B, because I feel like if this many people are making it, and not only are they making it, but it's like, oh, I've made 3 of these blankets already, or I've made,
Wild.
I'm on my 5th 6 day star blanket or whatever, then I feel like if it's easy enough, there must be a level of muscle memory that you pick up that you can, once you start it, you can just keep going.
Yeah.
That because like that other blanket that I was working that I started, that Mo blanket,
Mm-hmm.
that I really liked the way it looked. I really liked the way it started, but it's like I have to really focus. I saw that. I have to really focus, and so I haven't pulled it back out because I have to really focus.
Mm-hmm. To get to remember the stitches and remember where you are
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's not something that I can just pick up and then go. Like even with this hat, I looked at what the instruction was for this row, and now I can finish working on it while
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to you because I know what it is. But that one, I have to look at it the whole time I'm working on it. And those are the kind of projects that I like the way they look at the end,
Mm.
but I like
The
a lot of
process
my
is not
projects.
it.
Yeah, a lot of I'm clearly a product knitter or product stitcher. They say product versus process. I'm clearly a product person
Same.
because I want to be able to say I made it. I want to be able to show people, hey, this cool thing that I made. But very rarely do I enjoy the actual making of it.
I feel the same way. I want to have another couple. I just watched somebody do, and let's maybe get in the shower thoughts after this. But I just watched somebody post, I think it was maybe on Instagram, and they posted a picture of like getting ready for market prep. And they had, remember Winnie the Dragon, the really big dragon that I made, that I've
Hmm.
only made 2 of them. She had 4 of them
Oh,
just for her
goodness.
market prep, along with
Good.
so many other things. Like the screen was just crowded with dragons, leggy frogs, mushroom guys of 2 different sizes, like so many guys. And I'm like, I want to make even another single one of those. But the process of making it, like, because you start with the head and work through the body, and it goes so long. That's the pattern where I pointed it out last when I was making it the first time. That's the pattern. In the pattern, it's like don't give up yet. You're actually not even very far. You are right here. You haven't even got to the tail part. You're not even halfway through. And I'm like, girlie, you can't say that in the pattern. It's mean.
You're going to make me give up just saying that.
Right? Ugh. You've got another 60 rows. Like, don't say that. And so I feel you, because I like having the dragon is very fun. Having said I made this dragon is very fun. Making the dragon, sewing the wings, doing the color changes, not fun.
And there's some things that I appreciate, because the colors, I like the colors of the yarn, and it is pleasing to me to see these colors working up. But again, a lot of times I get bogged down in the work of it.
Let's look at shower thoughts before we get
shower thoughts.
Yeah, before we get fully out of TikTok stuff. Have you seen, I've been getting, so when I first got back on TikTok after my hiatus, I was like, man, every other video is TikTok shop, and it is irritating. And now every other video is still TikTok shop, but now I'm getting a lot more videos of, here's the thing that I bought. Doesn't it look great? And they're holding nothing because they never received the thing. And so they're doing the review, and they've tagged the TikTok shop like thing, so you know who not to buy from. And so they've tagged the little TikTok shop thing down at the bottom, but they're like, this is what I got. It's nothing. Or like I saw one video that's supposed to be like this cute little like an incense waterfall thing or something, but they only received one piece. They show the picture of what it's supposed to be, and you can click down into the TikTok shop of what it's supposed to be and see what it's supposed to be. And they're like, this is what I received. You can see me opening the package right here. It is nothing. There is nothing here. Or like the girls that are like, there was one girl who's like, I just had to hop on here. You guys are all hyping up this color changing lipstick or color changing lip gloss on the TikTok shop because it looks clear over here, and then when you put it on your lips, it's pink. You see this ring of pink right here? That's the pigment. When you pull your brush out, that's where the pigment is coming from. It's not magic and color changing. Like, just shitting on all these TikTok shop videos.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So I've been getting a bunch of those.
I have not seen any of that. Where I ended up on TikTok briefly was the I Hate Lawrence TikTok. Did I mention that to you last time?
No, but why? I remember seeing, I saw a couple videos, but like I was so far removed from what was going on that I'm like, I'm not even going to look this up.
Yeah, I was getting the reaction videos. I don't know what the original video was. I was getting people who were like, let me jump into the discussion about hating Lawrence.
Yeah.
Not the original video of whoever said they hated Lawrence. But from what I understand, a lot of people were saying that Lawrence is not making real music. They're making music that is manufactured to be
like industry music,
to be commercial, manufactured to, and that their videos are being, first of all, I never see Lawrence on my TikTok.
Me either.
It never jumps up on TikTok. How did I discover? Because people are saying that Lawrence is being pushed in their face, that they're always seeing Lawrence. You know where I see Lawrence? Your brother introduced me.
Yeah, I was about to say, Isaac showed me Lawrence. He's the only reason I know them.
Your brother introduced me to Lawrence. And every time I see a new Lawrence video, it's because your brother has sent it to me.
Yeah, so I don't know why.
Even after having watched several Lawrence videos, they still don't come up in my YouTube algorithm, and they never show up on my TikTok. So I don't know who's being pushed Lawrence, but they feel like Lawrence is in their face too much, that they are elevator music, that the music's not even good, that the music doesn't have any soul. And I'm like, y'all, as soon as I see one of them start saying Lawrence hate, I need to leave you, because I enjoy Lawrence. And I am the kind of person who is very susceptible that if you tell me, oh, this thing is really stupid, smart people don't really do this thing, my brain gets infested and I start to believe it. And then I start to feel bad about
and then you feel like you can't,
I feel bad about the thing I was enjoying because smart people don't really enjoy this thing.
Ronald, are you saying you've never heard of Lawrence? Is that what you're saying right now?
Lawrence is a band. It's a brother and sister duo, and then they have other band people, and they do these big videos that are like um where they have all these other musicians jump in with them, but Lawrence is really mainly the two of them. And they just had an album come out recently. And your brother went to see them in concert, and he was so excited. He went to see Jonas Brothers just because Lawrence was opening for them. He didn't care about Jonas Brothers. He went to see Jonas Brothers because Lawrence was, and he stayed long enough for the Waffle House song, which is my favorite, and then he left. And then Lawrence came, and they were the headliner. They came just a month or so ago, and they were the headliner. And your brother went. He was so excited, and he had so much fun. Their music is fun.
I was trying to bring up one of their music videos, but my computer said, "Girl, you're doing too much." So
their music is so much fun. I do not understand why.
I really only know like the one song, but it's a good song.
So, do you have a shower thought?
That was my shower thought, was the TikTok shop thing.
Because I don't think I have really any.
Something about ride makers. What is that?
Yes, I got served I think it was an ad. I can't remember if it was a TikTok ad or if it was a YouTube ad, but it is a
rock music. Hearing some rock music.
We don't do rock music. What are you talking about?
Rock music. Not in this house. Yep, that's the one song I was gonna pull up.
So I tell myself when I sleep at night.
Have you missed the rock music?
Don't lose sight, baby, don't lose sight. Don't lose sight, baby, don't lose sight. Don't lose sight, baby, don't lose sight.
Wait, we can't play that much. We don't want to get copyrighted.
Okay.
Take it out. Take it out. I also.
But that is Lawrence. Ride makers. Apparently, okay, I will say this while we pull up the rock music. Can you pull up the rock music?
Yeah, I was already on it.
Okay. Thank you for posting pictures of the blanket, Junie. We will take a look at it in Discord. Those of you who are watching, join our Discord and you can see our work in progress. No, Ride Makers apparently is it's a place where you can go and you pick out the parts. It reminded me, when they were picking out the parts, it made me think of going to the what's the place where you get a mani-pedi? Do you call that a manicurist? What do you call that place?
Yeah, to the nail salon?
Nail salon, thank you. When you go to the nail salon and they have you pick out what colors you want on your hands and your toes. So this place has all the things, kind of like when you're picking out the colors, except you're picking out what kind of tires do you want and what color do you want the body and what size body do you want. And then they take you over to this other station, and then there are people who help you, and there's these things that come, these like they come down from the ceiling, kind of like drilly things, and they help you put your little wheels on the chassis and help you put the little windows in and stickers. And then when you leave, you have a toy car or a toy truck that you can play with at home.
How big is it?
So it's kind of like, so in my brain, it was like a tech version of Build-A-Bear.
Mm-hmm. How big
And
is the
I've
car?
only seen the ad once. I've only seen they have one in Myrtle Beach.
Ooh.
Um,
Are they like little cars or are they like
I
bigger
don't
cars?
think they're not matchbook. They're not Hot Wheels size cars. They're
Okay.
they're bigger than that. They're okay, I'm trying to do this fast.
You gotta go so fast. The rock music is playing us out.
I know. Okay.
Ooh. Those are cool.
Yeah, so you see they're at their little stations.
Yeah.
And they have the things coming down, and you put your wheels on and your thingy thing. So you see they're
And
not
those are
little
decent sized little cars, yeah.
because they're big enough that you can fit your palm on them. So they're not little. But I just thought that was cool that they have. I was trying to find a way to say it that's not. Because my first thing was, oh, this is the boy version of Build-A-Bear. But no, boys can do
Boys go to
Build-A-Bear
Build-A-Bear.
too, so
This
not,
feels like Build-A-Bear for older kids, honestly.
yeah, or
Like,
just the techie version of Build-A-Bear was what I landed on in my brain. Because it's like if you don't want a soft, fluffy bear,
mm-hmm.
you know, this is gives you a car that you can play with or put on.
I wonder if it's the kind of car that does the little thing where you pull it back and it goes, or if you have to just like push it.
I still miss my little. I used to have a PT Cruiser that when I worked in an office, I had it sitting on my
Sitting on your
thing.
desk.
Yeah, and now all I have left is my Walmart grocery car.
Not the what Walmart grocery car? Where did that come from?
When they first started delivering groceries in this area, they would put it in the bag.
That's funny. Is that a broccoli on top? What is that?
Yes, that's a broccoli.
That's funny.
No, not a broccoli. I think it's a bok choy.
A
A bok choy on top of the Walmart truck. But I got that when they very first started delivering groceries. I still miss my PT Cruiser. I don't know where it is. My PT Cruiser was bigger than that one, but smaller than those ride maker cars. But anyway, it is 12 o'clock.
We're wrapping up.
We have been the Coffee Klatsch. You have been our audience. We are We are glad that you came to hang with us in our same old StreamYard hangout. And if you would like to hang out with us in our same old StreamYard hangout with the duck in the corner again next week, we're here Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Easternish, 10 a.m.ish. Start with the crosswords, stay for the conversation. So hit the like button if you like this. Hit the subscribe button if you want to subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of when we actually go live, even though it's supposed to be 10 o'clock.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's a dream.
And if you want to join us over on Twitch on Fridays for a little bit of silliness, you can go over to Artemis's channel where we play some games, or where she plays some games, where I guess she's going to play Magical Delicacy again, unless I can talk her into letting me play something different.
I mean, you can play something if you want. I just figured we've been playing the same little snacks over and over. Why not try something else?
True.
I can go through Game Pass. We can see if there's maybe another puzzle game. I wish that if there was any game that I could play again, I wish I could fully erase the memory of Beacon Pines from my mind so that we could play Beacon Pines, because Ari and I played through that game and it was a trip. It was wild.
Well, we'll see. Check us out on Twitch at Live the Awkward Life on Fridays, 10 a.m. ish, and see what game we're going to play. And if you made it this far, put a car.
Yeah.
Put a car in the comments.
Ronald. Ronald, play. You have to just play through it. Just the way you did with Jenny LeClue. Play through it. That game gets so wild. Ari and I sat and played through it in 2 days. Just play through it. It is so wild.
Ronald plays games fast, so if it was pulling him in, he would go right through it.
Do
A
it.
car in the other comments, Ronald. These
A car
live
in the
comments
permanent
won't show up later. But
I mean,
thank
they do
you
show
for
up
the
later, but
card.
it takes a while.
But thank you for the card.
Vroom, vroom. We are out of here. I'm ending the stream.
Vroom.
End the stream.